Trump has been in office now for more than half a year. I thought this would be a good time to look back at some of the promises that Trump made to evaluate where we are today. So first, we have ending the war in Ukraine.
I will prevent, and very easily, World War III, very easily. Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, I will have the disastrous war between Russia and Ukraine settled. It will be settled quickly. I will get the problem solved, and I will get it solved in rapid order, and it will take me no longer than one day. I know exactly what to say to each of them. I got along very well with them.
Trump promised to end the war on day one. He said it would only take him 24 hours, and that he knew exactly what to say to both Putin and Zelensky to end the war. Well, here we are months later, and the war has only raged on. Putin continues to relentlessly bomb Ukraine, even while Trump supposedly has been speaking with him, even apparently getting intelligence updates from his wife, Melania.
President Trump's change of strategy reflects a feeling of betrayal from Vladimir Putin, who the president says will tell him one thing on the phone in private and then order something completely different on the battlefield in Ukraine.
We thought we had a deal. Numerous times I'd get home, I'd say, First Lady, I had the most wonderful talk with Vladimir. I think we're finished. And then I'll turn on the television, or she'll say to me one time, wow, that's strange because they just bombed a nursing home. I said, what? So we don't like that.
Not sure why she's more clued in than he is, but perhaps that's because Trump isn't reading his presidential daily brief, or he isn't being provided one. Not really sure. Either way, the war in Ukraine is far from over, and Trump seems to be clueless as to how to actually bring it to an end. I guess he really didn't know what to say to Zelensky and Putin to get them to end the war. Next, we have bringing peace to the Middle East. Trump wanted to end the war in Gaza before he even took office. He tried to pressure Netanyahu to deliver. He wanted an end to this war. He said he could resolve it. Trump said he wanted more aid into Gaza. Yet here we are, with Palestinians in Gaza starving to death. More and more people are recognizing the ongoing genocide. And despite Netanyahu's several visits to the U.S. since Trump took office, we're no closer to getting the hostages released, no closer to ending the war, and no closer to getting more aid into Gaza. Reducing the deficit. Trump wanted to reduce government spending, reduce the deficit. He had Elon Musk with his whole Doge scheme come in and fire thousands of federal workers, seemingly at random, completely shuttering U.S. aid, which will likely result in the deaths of millions of people globally. And then what did he do? He passed an insane budget bill that will add trillions to the national debt.
Republicans faced an uphill battle advancing the bill, with some against its price tag. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimates the bill will add $3.4 trillion to the national debt over the next decade. And in that same time frame, the CBO says some 11.8 million Americans could lose their health insurance coverage because of its steep cuts to Medicaid.
What about his promise to not cut Medicare or Medicaid?
Won't be touched. Medicare, Medicaid. None of that stuff is going to be touched.
Nothing.
You don't have to.
Several times, Trump made it very clear that there would be no cuts to Medicaid or Medicare. Yet here we are, the big, beautiful bill will kick more than 11 million people off their health care.
President's tax bill could feature the largest Medicaid and Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP cuts, in history, and leave nearly 11 million people without health insurance.
Promises made, promises kept. What about lowering the costs of goods and groceries? Trump campaigned on lowering the cost of goods for people, lowering the price of groceries, making sure that things were more affordable. Yet Trump's schizophrenic tariff policy has done nothing to lower the price of goods, and instead, it's increased them, in some cases substantially. Several different analyses show that the cost of goods continue to rise. And Americans are stressed about the price of groceries, housing, money that they're being paid, and healthcare. Instead of taking a step back and realizing maybe my policies aren't working, when new labor statistics came out showing that there were less people getting jobs than were thought to be, what did Trump do? He fired the statistician that was in charge of those numbers. Didn't say, hey, why are these numbers so bad? He just said, I don't believe the numbers, you're fired. Trump has also made the pledge and has been very, very clear that he wants to reduce the cost of prescription drugs. But given that Trump has said he's going to lower the cost of drug prices by up to 1,500%, I don't know that he's going to be successful in this. To be clear, if he did that, it would mean that drug companies would be paying you to take their drugs. While I'm not above being paid by a drug company to take their medication, I doubt drug companies would sign up for that. What about no tax on tips? Trump actually did deliver on this promise. Sort of. While the no tax on tips policy was implemented, the new law sunsets in 2028, unless Congress extends it. This is unlike the massive tax cuts that were given to the wealthiest Americans, which Congress passed in perpetuity. Now, I know many Trump voters don't care about facts. I know that no matter what Trump does or doesn't do, they will continue to support Trump. But what about other voters, swing voters? Are they paying attention? Will they remember next year when they vote in the midterm elections? In 3 years when we vote in 2028 for the next president? I hope so.